Hey, everybody. Want to welcome you in. Patrick is back. A little coffee, but not too bad other than that, buddy. How we doing?
Doing good. Doing good. Glad to be talking about some racing.
Oh, can you believe we're talking about racing? And in a week, we'll be talking about racing in September already. A little over a
Ooh,
week, I guess. Where the heck did this season go, right?
it goes by too fast every time. And then I feel like it's just we start the countdown, we start the paper chain, cutting off little chains every day like that
Yeah.
until opening day.
You got yours made yet? The little
Now
loopy chain
I
thing?
got to count, but I'll have one made though by
Get the kids on
Halloween.
it.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Because I think you guys will be done down there in Twin a little before that. Oops, I'm scratchy. But yeah, we'll be rolling at Meridian until that last weekend in October. And um, goodness gracious. So this weekend, though, we'll talk a little bit about what we've got going on down in Twin here in a bit. And you and I have been 3 or 4 weeks since we've been on. We've had lots of racing, lots of craziness in between. So I urge everybody to hang out with us after we talk to our guests, so we can talk a little bit about the home stretch, I guess, championship run and final events for a few of the classes already coming up here in the next couple weekends. So we'll talk about all of that. We want to remind everybody too that you can jump on and comment during the show. We encourage it. It gives us a little bit of interaction with our guests that we're talking to tonight. So definitely jump on there and ask a question, say hi. Um, yeah, and if you want to be on the show, you just click on there, and heck, who knows? We might just send you a link and bring a bunch of strangers on. I know Jonathan's at a racetrack, so I know he's got some strange characters around him already. He already showed us one. So
Yeah. You never know who's going to jump on.
yeah, so definitely get on here and help us out and talk to these guys. Um, Big deal this weekend, Patrick, up here anyway. 2 racetracks. The Motorplex at the Mill. We've talked to Travis about some of his shows already.
Yep.
Um, they're probably 3/4 of the way through their circle track season there. But Jonathan and Jerry Davis, part of the Snake River Legends group, have hopefully, there was years ago that we used to have the Legends regionals here at Meridian. I'm talking 30 or 40 legends packing the pits. So Jonathan and Jerry definitely want to try to get that back up and running, and they've worked together with Adam and Travis in the group. And 2 days, 2 shows, a double Legends regional qualifier, and the bandos are going to be at the Motorplex at the Mill on Sunday too. So Saturday, Sunday racing. We don't get that a whole lot.
Yeah, back to back racing days. That makes for such a good weekend because you go to one, it's great, but when you know you did race day and you're going to wake up tomorrow and do it all again, those are good weekends.
Yeah, it's like it's the church of circle track. It's my favorite church to go to on a Sunday.
Hmm.
Back in the I'll age myself a little bit, but we used to do factory stock enduros, like Bomber Thunderdog type enduros at Meridian, 250 laps, 100 cars on a Sunday afternoon.
All Sunday afternoon.
Yes, and you do have to remember, I grew up in a very Catholic family, so Sunday was our church day, and it was so nice of my father to sneak me out away from mom. We'd go out the back door, we'd go to the racetrack, and she'd go, pray for us, which obviously all these years later didn't do much good because here we are. But yeah, so we've got a group of guests tonight, and I think it'll be cool just to kind of bring them all on together because this Legends Regional is it's a pretty big deal, and it's definitely something we want to try to get back as an annual event here in the Treasure Valley. And who knows, maybe here in the coming seasons, next year, year after, we can tag on Magic Valley to that. It'd be kind of cool to have a Friday, Saturday, Sunday 3-day deal somewhere down the line.
Ooh, that'd be awesome.
Twin Meridian, Emmett. Um, we'll see how it goes. This is going to be the one. But tonight we've got a guy that has been really tearing it up here at Meridian, and I want to get his take on his season. He's won down at Magic Valley, but kind of a new face to those of us here. So we want to kind of get a little history on our good buddy Austin Murphy. Third gen race cars. Peyton Saxton and the crew out of Las Vegas, Nevada. Anytime there's a Legends show, I mean, and you know this, Patrick, those guys don't come just to hang out and go circles. Those guys come out to kick some butt and win some races, and they usually always do.
Big boy battles.
Yes. So we've got one of their drivers, Ashton Williams, is going to join us, and then Jonathan Davis, longtime Legends racer here locally, and we'll talk to him a little bit about his new role, him and his dad and some of the family stepping up big time to grow Legends racing as part of the Snake River Legends group, and we wouldn't be doing what we're doing this weekend without those guys. So we're going to chat with him too and see what's going on Legends wise. And like I said, comment, ask questions. Sometimes you guys out there have better questions than Patrick and I.
Quite often, yeah.
Because we're just, we're high paid celebrities, right, Patrick?
Yeah, the salary we make doing this thing helps us to just, when it's not race season, we're basically just playing hopscotch across the globe, Bahamas, places like that,
Yeah, that's just we're dreaming, and our guests are sitting here going, "Shut up, guys! Let's talk about racing." So we're gonna bring these gentlemen in here real quick. See how we got them there, guys. How we doing? Can you?
Doing well.
Everybody still hearing us?
Oh yeah,
absolutely.
So we've got Austin Murphy up here. Oop! Now I moved him. I don't know how I did that, but
now I'm down here.
Ashton Williams and Jonathan Davis, the full group of drivers. Welcome, guys. I want to start with Jonathan, though. Jonathan, I know you guys have been longtime active members of the Legends division. Your dad, your brother, your family. Tell us a little bit about that. And it seems like your roles have switched a little bit here in the last couple of years. What do you guys got going on?
Yeah, it's changed up a little bit. For years, I've always been driving. If I told you how many years we've been doing Legends, I would be lying to you because I can't really think of a number for that. But here recently, we took over the Snake River Legends, and it's taken a lot to get to where we are now. But we still have a long ways to go. We're trying to get this class up and going, and hopefully get back to the regional days where we had 35 plus cars show up. It's kind of the first time that we've really, explored into 2 different tracks in 2 different days. So it's super exciting to be able to do this. And then myself, I'll be coming back out on Sunday, and I'll be bringing that 55 back out to run a little bit with you guys. So I'm super excited for that. It's a good group of people that we race with. Austin, I see him every week. He's kicking ass out there and taking names. So I'm super excited for this weekend.
Awesome. So got this regional together. I know I talked to your dad a little bit. You're out there at the Motorplex at the mill now. Preparations getting ready out there. Obviously, Meridian's been a mainstay here, but I know Travis and John and the crew, they're putting together a pretty good facility out there, right?
Yeah, it's a great track. I ran out here twice now, and it's very enjoyable. It's another animal though. You gotta, from one day from Meridian to here is, your setup's a lot different, track's different. It's fairly high banked, but it's a lot of fun to race, and I look forward to see, hopefully we can get a good car count out here. We're hoping for 25 plus, but we'll see who all shows up. So
I hear legend cars in the background on the track right now.
Yeah, there's I think we got a few of them. Joe's doing a gear change right now, and you got Dylan Wardle. He's out there running right now, putting some laps in. So
awesome. Well, hey, Austin, man, tell us a little bit. We've been watching you go round and round Meridian and Magic Valley here in 2024, but catch us up a little bit, because I know you just didn't jump into a car and immediately to the top, but you're driving the wheels off it. You're battling some of the heavy hitters. Where did it all start for you? And then we'll talk about 2024 and this big Legends regional qualifying weekend.
So I actually grew up racing. I started when I was 5. I'm 32 now, but I started when I was 5 in the dirt in mini dwarf cars. My dad raced a little bit before that, street stocks and stuff out in the dirt. And decided once we were a little bit older, give us a chance. So I raced mini dwarfs until I was old enough to race bandos, and so since then I have been on the asphalt. So I raced bandoleros for a few years until I was old enough for legends. So I actually raced legend cars. How many years has it been? I was like 14 at the time, so it's been over 15 years. Like 17 years ago, I was racing legend cars. And then after that, I went up to bigger cars. I raced speed trucks and late models and super late models, and I've had a lot of people in the past let me race their cars. So I've raced pretty much every division at a short track that that you can run. But when I graduated high school, we kind of lost some sponsorship, and the racing and everything in our family had been a pretty big stress. So my dad and our family kind of decided to call it quits. So I stopped racing when I was like 19 or 20, and it was basically in my blood at that point. So I knew one day I'd want to come back. And so it took me over a decade. But eventually me and my wife decided it's time, and we bought a legend car, and we basically bought the bare bones legend car you could buy, something that had been sitting for like 10 years in a shop in Vegas. And so I worked on it for like 6 months, and I was able to make the last race last season, and we did pretty well. But we had the 1250 engine in it, all the old shocks, everything on it was basically sat for 10 years. So we did what we could. And we did pretty well. But after that, we went down and raced a few races in Havasu over the winter and bought a new engine because we had a bunch of issues with the 1250. Same thing with our shocks. We couldn't get the old Bilsteins, and ours were falling apart. So we got new shocks and have done a lot to the car. And that's proven to be working pretty well for us. As long as we make the races this season, we've done well. The very first race this season in the heat race, I ended up rolling the car because we had brake issues, and I ended up getting up into Courtney Weller and then over the top of her and into the wall. So didn't make the main event for that race. And then a few races later with the MT, we had some throttle body ECU issues, and so we couldn't get the car running. So I missed a double main event at Meridian about a month or two ago, whatever or so. So as long as we're on the track, the car's running well, but it's making it on the track right now. That's been tough for us.
Yeah, it's always easier to win on the racetrack, right?
Yeah. Can't win from the pits.
Well, here's your first. Looks like you got some fans though down here on our comments. This is our one of our first comments. He's ready to see you take some Treasure Valley hardware home.
That's the hope.
And we also want our good friend Sherry Waters is on board saying hello from the great state of Utah down there. So hi to Sherry. And that's what you guys got to do. Jump on here, talk to these drivers, ask them some questions, and we'll throw them at them. Hang on. And Brent just totally blanked the screen out. Hey, Patrick, take it for 1 second. Because I'm gone.
Okay, so let me ask you this, Austin. You've raced all these other divisions. Why are you sticking with the legend? What is it about the legends?
So that's actually a great question. I've raced tons of stuff, and I've always enjoyed everything that I've driven. The big cars, though, street stocks, late models, super lates, modifieds, they're really expensive. First of all, they're very expensive, and racing those cars, I feel like how big they are and on these small tracks, it's a lot harder to really showcase some of your talent or your abilities and stuff like that. And with legend cars, the size that they are on these tracks and the amount of like horsepower to weight ratio that they have makes for an incredible driving experience. We fit a lot better side by side on the track, so there's a lot of really good side by side racing. And like I said, with the power to weight ratio, it really showcases the driver's ability to get things done. You can see a driver jump in a legend for the first time and be way off, and as they improve and get a little bit better, you can really see that improvement, and I love that, and I love our legends community for that reason. Everybody up here is amazing, and being part of that community is really what I wanted to do. I knew when I was going to come back to racing that the amount of fun I had in legend cars and the community and the people and everything, that's what I wanted to be part of again.
Sweet. Well, hey, let's talk to another gentleman that's making the tow to come do some racing with us, Ashton Williams. Ashton, thanks for coming on such short notice. But I believe Peyton kind of just told you were doing it, right?
Yeah, I mean, Peyton's the guy in charge.
So tell us a little bit about yourself. How long you been racing, legends, and just kind of the background on you, and then we'll bring everybody back on here to talk about the big weekend coming up. So where did it all start, Ashton?
I started in a Junior 2 kart at Glen Helen like 4 years ago, like the Lucas Oil Series.
Mm-hmm.
And then I kind of just was good at it from the start, did all my off-road stuff. It was like a short course truck. I went to a mod car, and then it kind of like off-road series went bankrupt, and so all our off-road stuff we didn't really race anymore. So then I got into legend car stuff, and then just been doing great at it, just trying to go far with my career.
So how old are you?
I'm
I know
15.
you're gonna make me and Patrick feel ancient here in a second, but
I'm
15 years old.
Yeah.
So how'd you get hooked up with Peyton in this group? I mean, it's for those of us that follow any type of short track racing, that's a hell of a team to be hooked up with. How'd you guys get together with Peyton and the third gen guys?
I rented one of my first ever legend car races. I rented from him at Irwindale, and then I got like 4th, 5th, and then I just did good, and then I raced with Peyton since then. It's been like a year. I raced with Peyton for like a year.
Right.
You
Patrick,
worked
I know
with
you and I
Darren,
were
right,
talking.
Ashton? Sorry.
What's up? What's
Go
up?
ahead, Austin. You're good, but go ahead.
You've worked with Darren, right?
Yeah, Darren Almadon, yes.
So when I was racing legends back at Orange Show Speedway like 15 years ago, he had actually just started in legends. So when I've seen his name and that he's like had some cars that you drove for him, I thought that was so cool because there's not a lot of people that are still involved from that long ago. So I thought that was awesome.
Yeah, Darren and Donnie and all of them still do it.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Okay, so I'm catching on. I'm catching that you guys are from the same area then, right, Austin? They're down in.
Yeah, I grew up down in Southern California, so I raced Orange Show Speedway. I don't know if Willow Springs still runs their circle track, but I raced Willow Springs, the Bull Ring, Irwindale. I don't know if I said that. All those tracks down there when I was younger.
Yeah, Orange Show just had a national qualifier 2 weeks ago.
Oh, nice.
Sweet. Well, Patrick, I know you and I, because obviously we've watched Austin go around. We've watched Jonathan, but we were talking about Ashton when Peyton told me he was our guy. Sounds like he's on a little hot streak here in 2024, huh, Patrick?
Sounds like it. I don't know how these kids can do so good in these fast cars, make me feel like I'm 800 years old. I can't get out of bed without hurting myself.
So, how's 2024 been for you, Ashton? Where have you been racing? Obviously, you guys load up the hauler and tote everywhere. What's the season been like so far?
Been great season. I guess it probably been. We have like 14 wins this year. I've done like 40 races this year. I went to Montana, North Carolina, Virginia, Georgia, Nashville, Florida. I raced the Bull Ring, Irwindale, Orange Show, and then I have Idaho this weekend. That's supposed to be a lot of fun.
Right. Have you been
I
up
have
here
family
before?
up there, so it'll be cool to see them. They're gonna come down and watch.
Sweet. So, Jonathan, I'm gonna bring you back up here, buddy. Regional qualifier for the fans out there, because like I said, it's been a few years since we've seen something like this here in the Valley. I know we would always have some of the big shows. What's it mean? What's the whole idea, the whole draw for what you guys are doing?
So as far as the regional qualifier goes, it's good to see it coming back, and hopefully growing to get, to a bigger size and, getting that bigger car count like we were talking about earlier. For the regional, it's just, it's, I don't know how many of the numbers of races you got to have. And Austin might know that for the regional qualifier for the nationals and so forth. I don't know what the breakdown is on that. Been out of it a little ways. So, but yeah, it's a huge event. I remember years ago, Meridian Speedway, going out there and, we even where all the parking is for the fans, we had trailers out there parked out there, and just had huge car counts, and it was an absolute blast. It was one that you never want to miss because of all the cars that showed up, and Saxon's always good about bringing 4 or 5 cars down sometimes. So it's good to see those guys coming down too. I know I've talked to a couple guys out of Washington. That sounds like they're going to be coming down, and then. Hopefully we get some guys out of California too. I know we talked to Jeremy Doss, but they had a makeup race that they were going to be making. So they weren't going to be making this one, unfortunately. But it sounds like we're still going to have a really good car count on this one.
Awesome. Austin, have you been involved in any of the regional qualifying stuff before, or since you're kind of newer to this division? Not yet.
So back when I was racing for national points, it was you could I think you could race as many as you wanted, but as soon as you won one, that was the only one that would counted towards your points. And I'm sure actually Ashton probably knows way better than me now because it's been so many years. But we used to do the same thing, and people would travel a lot for the national qualifiers. So it's really good for our class, and especially here, to have one to get more people in, because I'm not racing like Ashton is now, or like I used to when I was younger, where if you're racing for national points, you're traveling every weekend and you're going all over the country and racing 40, 50 times in the season. So, but those national qualifiers are a really good draw because you do need like your best finishing one is always counted, I believe. And like I said, Ashton might know better than me now.
Yeah, so they take 19 of your best races. So they take 18 of your best regional races and 1 national race. So if you win a national qualifier, then automatically put you in the A main.
Oh, there you go. So,
and I also got Jerry here too. So he might be able to answer some more questions as well.
The big man himself.
Patrick, be prepared because you and I just became the least sexiest people on here because the one and only Jerry Davis.
Yeah, right.
So, Jerry, you've had your hands in this. What do you have to add? A regional qualifier. This is going to be a cool weekend.
Yeah, this is going to be a great weekend, and hopefully, we'll get a good car count and just initially getting everything up and running again. It's never stopped running, but just trying to get it up to speed and back to where we was, back in, the mid 2000s, we were averaging, 20 to 25 cars on just regular nights. And when we had a big regional, then I think we had close to 50 cars.
Yeah.
And we'd like to see that again, get that, get it up to that number again and really see some of these guys come in. And because realistically for our class to succeed and get better and our local guys to get faster, they're going to have to compete against kids like Ashton and a lot of the other kids that Peyton or anybody else, where these guys are going all over the nation running and they can come and run with us and hopefully we can learn something, get faster, get better. Hopefully when they come, it's not just going to be a cakewalk for them every time, and get better across the board as a whole series and group.
Right. So
that's really what I'd like to see.
Yeah, I mean, and hopefully it's working. Hopefully, I know the new track in Emmett where you guys are at right now, beautiful facility they put together. You've got the old stomping grounds at Meridian. That's always some great legends racing. Do you think the multiple track situation that we have here in Southwest Idaho could help us get some of these shows in the future?
I think it very well could. I mean, I'm already talking to Adam and John and everybody for next year to see if we can figure it out and tie Twin Falls in with it for next year and get a 3-race deal, because I mean it makes it better for like Ashton you know, for them when they're going to travel this far, man, they need to make it worth it. You know, it needs to be as much racing as they can get, and some of the best racing they can get. You know, that helps them.
Right.
So, yeah. So hopefully, you know, hopefully I like the ideal. I think everybody else does so far. We'll see how it works this weekend. You know, it's going to be our first time doing this and seeing how it works, and hopefully it'll go good.
Right. So, the Sunday deal though at Emmett is more of an afternoon, early evening type race event, right? It's not our normal our late start stuff. What do you know off the top of your head schedule out there?
Yeah, the racing will start at 3.
Okay.
So, and I think practice, I'd have to look. I mean, I think we start practice around 10 or noon or something like that. I'd have to look at the flow chart to know, but you know, it'll get done a little sooner. And, you know, I mean, it's basically you leave Meridian, it's a 30-minute drive here. So whether somebody stays in Meridian or stays over here or whatever, you know, it's not too far away. And you know, realistically, it'll work out good, you know, and it's similar enough to where you don't have to make, I mean, you tend to make some changes for between the tracks.
Right.
You know, you don't have to make a lot of changes, you know. I spent a lot of laps on this track over here trying to figure it out because it's a different animal. You know, it is. I mean, it's a fun track and it's just a different animal. So, you know, I've thrown everything, the kitchen sink, the bathtub, everything at it before trying to figure it out over here, and I still ain't got it all the way figured out for sure. So
it'll be kind of cool.
Yeah, that's really good.
It'll be good. It'll be good to see a good field of legends on that track. Like I said, Meridian's tight, close, fender to fender racing. Could be a little different there at the Motorplex.
Yeah, the one cool thing that we had, the first race we had here this year, the only one we had this year so far, is it went green to checkers. Mm-hmm. I mean, no yellow flags, no nothing. I was surprised, so which is great. I mean, that makes for great racing.
Right.
So
yeah,
there's a lot of room to race. The track's really wide. So.
Okay, so we're gonna get a good car count out there. I just have a good feeling. I have a feeling it's coming.
Also, I got another ugly face here to say hello.
Hi, everyone.
You need to be taller. The sun makes you look like an angel, and I know you're.
I can be an angel, Brett, but I don't think you think I'm an angel.
I think you're an angel. I love you guys and your family. Mr. Blanton, what are you doing? Are you doing some racing out there this weekend?
I'm not doing racing. I got an official's hat on this weekend. When Jerry calls you in the middle of winter and asks for your help, you say yes.
Yeah, I've never said no to Jerry Davis, no matter what he's.
Well, you can kick my butt, so I'm not going to say no to Jerry. And you know, I've been around the Northwest doing this legend deal. I've flagged legend regionals at Wenatchee and some other tracks. So when Jerry asked for my help, couldn't say no. So we did some work to get some contingency sponsor type stuff. We got ZAMP on board that they're going to give away. We got 5 certificates to give out throughout the weekend, and then the Blanton Racing team threw in some money for Hard Charger, and then the Fans Connection threw in some money for Quick Time. So trying to spread the wealth, and Jerry and the team, the Snake River Legend guys, have done a good job putting this race together.
Awesome. So like you said, you've got some racing, you've got some officiating, and kind of into the promotion stuff a little bit with your Fans Connection and all that sort of stuff. What do you think in your racing brain? We can get 26 cars out there, 26, 27. Wouldn't that be a good show?
I think we can get. I think we can be at. Yeah, I think 26 cars around here would be a good show, and I think we're going to be close to that. We got some really good cars local. I know Austin. I think Austin was on earlier. I know. Mike Soyset's been really fast this year, and then when those California and Nevada guys come up, they bring a lot of speed. They don't come up here to run second, so. It's going to be a competitive field, and I'm looking forward to seeing everybody together, and hopefully we can get along and make it through the weekend.
Awesome. All right. Well,
I'm going to try to make sure they finish second. I'm getting first.
Oh, Murphy says he's getting first.
Oh, there's Austin. Yeah. Austin remain silent.
I brought us all into the same screen just in case Blanton was going to start talking crap, so we could all be right there.
Yeah, no, I know better. You got people hitting to kick my butt, so.
Yeah, no, but so we've got a couple more questions here. For the drivers that were out there, I lost it. Any of these guys are talking to? Any national championships on the screen? Because I have a feeling someone is not.
That's my mom baiting.
So that means
and
you got
that's
a
my
national
dad.
champion.
That's my dad also.
See, they're calling you out. They're calling you
Yeah.
out live.
So I did mention my legend racing in the past, and we did really well. So in 2006, we won the Young Lions National Championship, and then in Bandos in 2004, we won the Bandits National Championship. So we raced a lot.
And what about you, Ashton?
No, I'm going for the Young Lions Championship this year. That's actually funny. That's what I'm going for. It's hard though because this year they have a lot of good kids. Like Keelan, I raced with Keelan Harvick, and like all the a lot of younger kids and that have a lot of more like back east. They race Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then they have Saturday or Sunday off. Like they race every Tuesday.
That was a huge challenge for us back in the day too, because we would, race Friday and Saturday if we could, like at the bull ring, but otherwise it was once a weekend. So they have a lot more opportunities to win a lot more races, and you just gotta grind as best you can. That same year we won. So they had it a little different back then. Young Lions weren't separate from semi-pro, so we were a Young Lions semi-pro, and so we tied for semi-pro national championships and won the Young Lions, but we ended up losing the semi-pro championship off of I think it was the fourth tiebreaker. We were tied for the first three tiebreakers, and I ended up getting second off the fourth tiebreaker.
That sucks.
Yeah, I mean it was a long time ago, and I had so much fun. That's why I'm back doing it again. But yeah.
So Ashton, what's the you've got the coast to coast experience. What's the competition like? When you guys are traveling back east to here, is it all pretty much the same as far as those of you that are doing it kind of as a full-time gig, or is it better back east or out west?
It's the back east guys it's not really the racing, it's just the race craft. Like back east, it's no respect racing. It's if you're gonna hit the guy harder in front of you and the guy's gonna hit you from behind, that's how you're gonna win.
Right. Yeah. So a little physical back there. No?
For sure.
Sweet. Let me bring Jonathan back on. What else, Jonathan, before we wrap it up and let you guys get to work? Looks like you got a full crew out there. Anything in closing you want to say to get these folks out there and watch some racing at Meridian and the Motorplex at the Mill this weekend?
Yeah, I just encourage if anybody's out there and they're wanting to come out and watch. If you're a Jim County resident, I know that John Woods has offered, if you show your ID and you're a Jim County resident, that you can get into the stands for free this weekend here. So it's a great opportunity for anybody local to get in and not have to spin an arm and a leg to get into the races or whatnot. It's really going to be a great show. We're looking forward to it. There's going to be a lot of good drivers here, and it's just going to be a great time.
All right. And what time do the gates open at the Motorplex on Sunday for fans to come in? Do you know?
So I think practice starts at 10. I think gates are probably going to open. Well, racing starts at 3. So I would I'll post I posted the schedule up on the Snake River Legends. So if someone wants to go in and take a look at it, I would say probably noon though.
Okay. Blanton, any of your other folks have anything to tell us? Thanks for coming on.
Yeah, just come out and enjoy some racing, and we're looking forward to putting on a show for everybody.
Awesome. All right. Ashton, man, before we let you go, thanks for coming on and joining us.
For inviting me. Appreciate it.
We can't wait to, like I said, you guys and that crew always put on a show. I know you guys are coming for the hardware. Anybody you want to thank or anything before you get strapped in and ready to make the tow up here?
For sure. I want to definitely thank my sponsors. Brian, he's actually my neighbor. He sponsors me. He owns Bergeson's Heating and AC, and if it wasn't for him, I would not be racing everywhere, so I appreciate him. I want to thank Peyton. Peyton works on the car. He puts in his time, a lot of time. Darren for definitely everything. But I'm really excited to come up to Idaho and race with you guys. It'll be a fun time.
All right, man. Well, we'll be waiting for you here at Meridian Speedway on Saturday night, and then Sunday afternoon. Going to take a little trip down, just a little bit down the road to Emmett. I think you're going to like that track. Brand new facility.
Yeah.
They just got rolling this year, and John and Travis and the crew there trying to put on a good show, trying to build that up, and I'm glad you guys are going to be a part of it this weekend.
Yeah.
All right, so I will see you Saturday night at Meridian. I'll come track you down, and we'll do a little flow racing interview on Saturday with some of you guys, because all the races on Saturday night at Meridian Speedway will be on flow. So safe travels up here, buddy, and good luck this weekend.
Cool. Thank you.
Thanks, bud. And Mr. Murphy. So time to defend the home turf, right? There's going to be some heavy hitters rolling into both Meridian. Have you got to race at the Motorplex yet?
I have, yeah. The one race we had earlier this year, the inaugural race, we made it to it. So it's a tough track. It's definitely a tough track. It's really tight corners and very difficult to pass on. That the outside lane hasn't been really established yet, so it's tough. it's fun, but it's tough.
Hey, Austin.
Yeah.
Sorry, I wanted to ask this. So you've raced Legends a long time, not just the local, here Idaho stuff, but you've raced against a lot of different folks from when you were younger, and now when I'm not gonna call you old. You're not old yet, but you're more experienced now, right? So
yeah, that's a good way to put it. I'm more experienced.
Right. You're gaining experience. Yeah. So for some of these events that we want to see, the car counts build, what would you say to somebody that's thinking about, maybe they've got someone like Ashton that's a young buck that maybe should we look into Legends, or somebody that's maybe already 30 years old, but they're taking a look at a Legend. What would you say to them to maybe get them to give it a shot, get in the car?
So I was actually talking about this a little earlier today. And part of the reason I came back to Legends is the cars themselves. They're not incredibly expensive. They have gotten more expensive over the years, but so has everything else. But as far as the competition and the ability that you can gain and the amount of fun you can have in a Legend, I think pound for pound, dollar for dollar, it's the best you can do. You can have a lot of fun in a lot of other divisions, some more expensive, some less expensive. But Legend cars are going to be some of the most difficult cars to race. They're really twitchy. They're hard to drive. So they can teach a younger driver so much more than something that's a little bit easier to drive. And for somebody who's a little bit older, like myself, I'm not trying to go anywhere with this, they're just so much fun to drive. So as long as you are ready for that challenge and you want to take that challenge on, Legend cars are amazingly fun to drive.
So, and I liked what you said earlier. You mentioned the power to weight ratio. Excuse me. That's something that as a fan, that I noticed, because when you watch the cars, they're not as long as some of these other cars in that, but you mentioned it's like things happen it's like faster. It almost seems like, right? Like people weaving in and out of traffic, things like, as a fan, I'm like, crap's going to happen fast. So like, don't blink during this race when the Legends are out there, because you'll miss something. So I could appreciate what you said about that, because that's how I see it from the fan. I'm not sitting there thinking, geez, the power to weight ratio on these things. That's not how my brain works. My brain,
right.
My fan brain says these things are fast, so they're fun to watch.
And for the fans too, especially the more cars we have, we're smaller than big cars. So you could fit 25 cars on the track a lot more easily than you could fit 25 super late models or whatever. And we're driving side by side so much closer. They're open wheel cars, so like you touch a little bit, you're going off into the wall. So they're really fun to watch, and especially too here, we have a huge range of speed from like the top qualifier towards the slower cars. And so we get a lot of lap traffic, especially in the longer races. If there's not a lot of yellows, the leaders will be lapping a car or two almost every single lap. So not only are you battling for position with your own people near you, you're either trying to get through lap traffic at the same time or possibly getting lapped and having to figure out where do I give up a little bit. And so the battles and stuff in the legend cars are incredibly fun to watch. And if you see how much fun they are to watch, they're even more fun to be in. It's a blast.
Yeah, I was watching Austin put on YouTube. He's been kind of doing some YouTube videos in car, out of car, you know, the stuff that we're doing on Speedcast and Flow. Yeah, some of that in car stuff is it looks pretty intense. Like I said, in all the racing that I've dabbled in, that was always the one thing left, Patrick, on my bucket list is I want to drive one. I think I'm too old to race one, but I think I would just love to get that opportunity, you know, at someday. I mean, even like you said, your first race, you know, something goes wrong. Those things are, because of the weight, upside down isn't really a far-fetched idea, is it?
No. And the weight is part of it, and being an open wheel too. So what had happened in my incident is I didn't have enough rear brakes. I was adjusting my brakes, trying to back them out a little bit to adjust the handling of the car. So I didn't slow down as fast as I thought I was going to. And so a little bit of a push on entry and not enough brakes, I ended up sliding up and hooking my bumper with Courtney Weller's bumper. And so we were stuck together as she spun. And so my car kind of like was stuck to hers, and my left rear tire just drove over her left rear tire, which sent me, if you've seen the pictures, I'm sure people can find them, but it sent me just straight vertical, straight into the wall and upside down after that. So luckily though, like I said, the cars aren't insanely expensive. It wasn't the cheapest fix ever, but we were able to get the car back together for the next race, and you just keep going. So that is one of the things about the cars is you can roll them, you can damage them, but they're pretty simple, and most people can work on them themselves. If you're so inclined, you know, you could have a big team where you have a crew chief and somebody working on the car for you, and that's super helpful. Or you could, you know, roll it into your garage and get to work yourself. So
Right on. It looks like one of your big fans there is asking, you know, what your YouTube channels. I was going to ask that because it doesn't matter if it's race day before we head to the track. My son, he's pulling up YouTube channels of racers and, you know what I mean, watching stuff. Even I'm like, didn't we just watch that live like 2 weeks ago? And he's like, yeah, but this is in the car. So, so what's your YouTube channel?
So it's After Hours Racing. I've only got a couple videos on there. I'm still learning editing and all that kind of stuff. But I've got like 3 different cameras on the car now, and I'm kind of stealing a little bit of the Speedcast video too. But I'm doing my best to give people kind of an idea of what it's like from the inside of the car, from the hood view. I've even got a rear facing camera, so you can see exactly how close people are when they're bumping you or not, and on those kind of restarts and stuff. Some of the angles and things that you can kind of see from the stands, but you get a whole new perspective when you get to see it from inside the car.
Right on. Yeah, it's awesome to see because, you know, unless you've been in one or down on the track, you know, getting a different perspective, it always helps you. Because I've never, you know, really raced in a car, but I've done a couple hot laps in a late model on a media day once, and it scared the life out of me. So like I'm totally fine staying in the announcer's booth. That's great. But to get the perspective, it totally changed how I saw the drivers and some of the races. So it definitely it's interesting. So make sure you check out Austin's YouTube channel, After Hours Racing. He's got a few videos, but he's going to get more and more and more. So check it out.
Every race I plan on trying to do my best. It takes a couple days to do all the editing. It's so much more work than I thought it was going to be, but
it's a lot.
I think it's worth it, and it gives a whole nother perspective for the fans, and so that by itself is worth it.
Right. Well, I know that through this show this season and through all my 150 years at Meridian Speedway, we always talk about family. And Patrick's even on the announcing side. You know, we have our family, our significant others, our kids. I got to interview you on the front stretch earlier this year, Austin, and immediately he didn't want the interview, Patrick. It went right to the wife.
Not for the second one.
Yeah. Tell us a little bit about that. I mean, because, you know, I mean, like I said, in either way, you know, you've got the guys like like Ashton, and these guys are going to be rolling in the haulers. They got 10, 15, 20 guys helping them, and that's amazing. But when it comes to down home short track racing, you and your wife are kind of, I know you were on the City of Meridian video deal that they did, and they were talking to you guys, kind of just a husband-wife team down there for the most part. I mean, I know the Legends crew helps everybody out, but tell us a little bit about that. It's just the two of you for the hard work.
Pretty much, yeah. I say, and I thank my wife in every interview I do first, because honestly, she's number one. She legitimately works on the car as much, if not more, than I do. If you're ever in the pits and you come by our pits, you will see her taking tires off, changing springs, adjusting the caster and camber. She knows everything about this car. She has been there for me and with me from the start, from when we bought the car, tore it apart, rebuilt it. So she absolutely works on this car like a ton. The hardest thing for us, because it is basically just the two of us, we try and get a friend to come out, for each race, because we have a 2-year-old as well. And if you've been in the pits, I'm sure you've seen him running around, because he is an absolute handful. We have a spare helmet just for him to put on and run around and run into things. And so it's usually just me and her working on the car. And if we don't have any help, we're going, all right, can you loosen this bolt? Where's Atticus? Okay, I got that one. Where's Atticus? So we try and get somebody out to help us just to watch him, because it's me and my wife, and then our son is at every race too, and we try and get as much help as we can from the community, and I myself try to help as many people as I can if I'm not working. But yeah, it's just us, and my garage is right on the other side of this wall. That's where all the magic happens.
Well, you're experienced enough to what you can just play it off like that. You're like, I've done this long enough. I don't really need the whole crew thing. Just me and my wife will take care of it.
It's actually a lot harder, because when I grew up, I was the driver. I mean, I was between 5 and 19, and my dad did all the work, and we had a few people to help, and he was the one learning about the cars, and he would say, "What's wrong with the car?" I'd say, "It's loose on exit, fix it." And he'd fix it. So getting back into the Legend cars, it was a lot of calling my dad, calling Jerry, Ken Fricky, a lot of people to help me bridge the gap from just knowing what's wrong with the car and what I need to do to fix the car. Because I had a basic understanding, turns here, turns there, cross weight, these, like I knew all of this terminology, and I helped work on the car when I was younger. But I wasn't the crew chief. I wasn't the guy making the final decision. And so this season has been a lot of learning as far as that goes. I've done so many hours of research and practice days trying to adjust the car and change the things. So it was nice, and it is nice to have that experience, especially, when you grow up driving, you kind of get like habits and things like ingrained to you, which all came back. But learning the new track and learning the cars, which are very different from when I drove them. So many little changes, and learning all those little things as far as adjustments and setup. It's been a journey.
So
and my wife there with me the whole time, learning everything along with me. So she's an expert. She really is.
Are you guys already saving, trying to look at when do we get a bando for Atticus, or what do we do?
I've heard that quite a bit. He's 2 right now. And so he's got a few years to go. But I don't think he's going to want to wait. As soon as he's ready, he's going to want to be in the car. When we were rebuilding our car, he's probably spent more hours in the seat of my Legend car than I have, because that was his playpen. We were trying to take the car apart, rebuild it. And where did we put him? We didn't have anywhere to put him. So he sat in the car and he was pretending to drive. So he loves race cars. He absolutely loves the track.
Right on.
Well, now that you guys are up this way, I know we talked Magic Valley, Meridian, Twin, or Meridian, Emmett. Any other tracks up here in the Northwest, that you've ran at yet? We have Hermiston Raceway, always has some pretty good Legends racing, and as you kind of work your way up Tri-Cities up in that area, have you ever ventured up that way yet?
I have not. And even when I was younger, I think the farthest north we had went was like Northern California. So this is my first time being up here and racing these tracks. And honestly, we don't plan on doing big race seasons or a lot of traveling. At least it's not in the plans. I do want to do a few events here or there and do some traveling next season. And in the future, we want to go down and race the Chili Willy in Arizona. I was talking with my wife Lindsay about possibly making a race at like State Line. But I would love to be at the track every single weekend and racing, but we really are. It's just me and my wife. We've got a few sponsors, which now's the perfect time to plug them. You know, Phoenix Fire Games in Meridian has helped us out. Brian Ideas wrapped our car for us. You know, just a few things here and there, but really it's basically coming all out of my wife's check. So unless we can get some big money sponsors, we'll probably mostly be sticking with local racing.
Right. Well, yeah, definitely. If you get the chance to hit State Line, beautiful facility there. Hermiston, those are some of them that are just a little bit of a tow, but some pretty good tracks for some Legends racing for sure. Well, hey man, I appreciate you coming on. You're welcome back anytime. We love having you guys. You guys give us the bird's eye view, I guess, right, Patrick?
Yep.
We just talk about it. You guys do it.
We try. Sometimes it doesn't get done, but we try.
Right. All right. Well, I will see you out there Saturday and Sunday, and then hopefully, like I said, Jonathan brought back some memories. It was years ago. We were in the pits it was probably 10:30 in the morning. And literally the Washington and Oregon Legends guys were lined up out by the swimming pool at Meridian. We didn't have anywhere to put them. It was an amazing show. We were pitting them in the parking lot, 40 plus cars, and I hope that someday we can get back up there. And you're definitely getting the love here. One more.
I tried to plug the stream and make sure everybody knew, and I was like, throw a comment on there, they'll put it up. I swear. So now all my friends and my family are all
That's good. That's what we need, man. I mean, that's what Patrick and I do it for, is just to kind of get you guys a little bit of love and get these racetracks up and running, because weirdest thing, nobody comes out and videotapes us on a Saturday night sports channel, so we got to do it ourselves. So but we'll put together some highlights for next week, some Legends racing, and I don't know, maybe some victory lane interviews with Austin Murphy.
That's the plan. I want to give these guys a run for their money. I raced with Ashton actually down in Arizona over the winter. Him and some of those other third gen cars, and they're fast, they're quick. So I'm hoping I can show them what a little experience on these tracks can do.
Yeah, like I said, those guys. Peyton's come to Meridian, and you know the kid now he's a young man, but you know those guys just blow it away, and that's the thing. Like Jerry was saying earlier, that's what we need. We need that competition up here, so all of us can figure out what we can do to get to that point. Yeah,
I was actually in the stands on I think it was Ladies' Night last year when Peyton Saxton came up with those cars, and he was bad fast, and I was thinking about that the whole time. I was like, man, this guy's insane. And so he like qualified first and blew everybody out of the water. And on lap 1, turn 1, there was a huge pile up, and he was involved in it. And I was like, oh no, like all these cars got involved in it. Well, he got back on the track, started last again, and I think he was leading on like lap 3. He was passing like 5 cars a lap. It was insane. The dude's good. He knows what's up.
yeah. And what he's done is he's kind of taken a bunch of these young guns under his wing. One of the pictures we had up on the promo the last couple of days, like 12 Legend cars stuffed in a shop, you know. And every single one of them rolls out and breaks a track record or wins the main event. So
and that's what we have to challenge ourselves with, you know. I'm doing the best I can, but they have a lot of knowledge, and that goes a long way too.
Right. Yeah. So it's like we race wheel to wheel with them, take some of that knowledge, and then maybe we get a tri-track regional next year here in southwestern Idaho, and
that'd be sweet.
Show them how it goes. Well, hey man, I appreciate you coming on. Like I said, this door is always open for you, your wife, your crew, your family. You ever want to sit down and chat with a couple of knothead racetrack announcers, Patrick and I are always ready for you. So
absolutely, I'll try and convince my wife to come on. She probably won't do it, but I'll try and convince her.
Oh yeah, you get her on here. You send us a message. Sometimes we can surprise them a little bit. You know.
Okay. Yeah,
You
yeah,
could be
yeah.
like, no, I'm just on the computer, and as she's walking back there in the back, we'll be like, hey, Lindsay,
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
on the show.
She's actually probably right now parked in the truck with my son around the corner, waiting for us to be done.
Waiting for you to be done.
Yeah, because I was like, I don't want there to be a lot of background going on. So she's literally probably laughing right now about me telling you that.
So right now, if she's listening, Patrick and I are officially inviting her onto a future episode
There you
as
go.
we get closer to the championship run here in 2024. All right, Austin. Good luck. I will see you at Meridian, and I'm gonna. The one cool thing about the Motorplex at the Mill is I get to go out there and watch a race,
There you go.
wander
You
the
don't
pit,
have to work.
chat with you guys. DJ and Jen will take care of the announcing out there for you guys, and we'll come hang out and see how your weekend goes.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me on.
All right, man. Have a good one. Good luck this weekend.
All right.
All right, Austin Murphy. Real quick, while we still got some folks on, I wanted to get this comment on here. It was from earlier. Boy, we had some comments tonight, Patrick. We had some interaction. Jeremy White. Jeremy, a huge supporter of the podcast.
Oh man, yeah.
He was getting dinner ready. So we appreciate Jeremy.
Hey, he cooks good dinner too. I haven't had it, but he's posted pictures. Man, that guy knows how to cook.
He's a cook.
He knows what he's doing.
But another boy, it's been a tough year. It's been a tough year for losing members of our racing family around the Northwest and the West Coast. Kevin Truscott, we want to wish him a happy heavenly birthday yesterday. Yeah, it's just been one of those years. So thanks, Jeremy, for bringing that up. Definitely our thoughts and our prayers and our best wishes are with his family as he watches some great circle track racing from the racetrack grandstands up above.
Yeah, he's got the best in the house. Yeah, Jeremy's always he's one of the best racing fans in the world. And he had mentioned earlier, he commented a couple of times on there talking about back in the day, Rocky Mountain Raceways, when we had some great legends, things out there. He crew chief for the Fox 13 Legend. He said he'd run some hot laps as well. It just takes you back, right? Because that's what we were all thinking about, man, back in the day, whether it's Rocky Mountain Raceways or some other tracks that maybe might be gone now. And we remember, the big car counts that we get out there. And as the race fans, we want to get it back to that, because we always just go, man, remember those days, remember that one time, and it's something that you just hold on to for years. And we just want to keep that feeling. So that's why I wanted to ask those guys, like, what would it take, to convince somebody maybe that's thinking about getting into a legend? Because that's what we want to see. We want to see it grow. So if you're a racer, you're out there, Josh Cuff, good racer too.
Yep.
Street stock guy right now, but hey, you never know. Maybe you see somebody, we can convince Josh Cuff to be getting in. I don't know. Josh Cuff's a tall dude. I don't know if he'd fit in a little legend, because those are low cars, but we want to convince more racers, I don't know.
Yeah. We see Joe Daly and those guys climb out of those little things. It's kind of like
Joe Daly's a big man.
But it's kind of like the clowns getting out of the Volkswagen Bug. You're like, number one, how'd they get in? And how's he getting out of there? Yeah. You were saying that here's Josh. Josh tells us how he's going to get out of there. Grease him up. Pull him out the window. He'll be good to go. But yeah, that'll be a cool show. Travis and John out there at the Motorplex at the Mill. I know that's where those guys are trying to get all dialed in and ready to roll. Yeah. And of course, the Concrete Jungle Meridian Speedway puts on flipping amazing legends racing. The cars are small enough that, like Austin said, you can go 2, 3, if you got the guts, 4 wide for a second to try to make something happen. So we appreciate those guys coming on. It's going to be a heck of a show. So
yeah.
So it's been a few weeks, Patrick. You talked about going a few laps in a late model.
Yep.
Media days, kind of scary. You had a chauffeur last Saturday night, and you got out of that race truck a little dirty. share with our fans what. Okay, okay. Now that we're like 6 hours apart or whatever, dude. He asked me, and I'm like, I've known you way too long. Let's go ask Patrick. He wants to go for a ride.
So I hear, I'm in the booth and I hear Adam. He's on the microphone saying something about Patrick or Brent. I need a homie, and I was like, "Yeah, I got you, dude. I'm good." And then I remember, so I ran into Brent. Brent was coming up to the booth. I was going down to the track, I think. And I was like, Brent, what did he say? And Brent's like, yeah, no, I don't want to know if you'll get in the gauntlet.
Yes.
In the gauntlet, people, if you're watching this right now and you haven't seen what the gauntlet is, Adam's warped up this like bus truckish vehicle for projectiles to be thrown from the back seat. And when I say projectiles, I mean watermelons, produce, bags of flour, etc. And they have the Hornets chase Adam driving this monstrosity that he's put some, I don't know what's in this, some ginormous V8 engine in this thing. Totally overpowered. Yeah. Chasing us around trying to stop the gauntlet van. And we're trying to stop them, throwing stuff out the back. So I was in the back seat of this thing. I got like 9 pounds of flour all over my clothes, my shoes. It's like caked on my shoes. Like my shoes are in trouble. I got to figure that out. I don't even know what's going on there. Watermelon everywhere.
I saw your wife go by with a laundry basket. Is she still washing that sweatshirt?
Did you see that? Really?
Yeah, she went by with the laundry basket.
Yeah, she did go by. Oh my goodness, yeah.
Flour out of there. That's what she's doing.
Yeah, she's still trying to get the flour out of my pants that I wore that night. It was crazy. The thing that I was like thinking, this is just going to be fun. Let's go do this. Have you been in a car with Adam Nelson?
I don't want to be.
Folks. That
I love him, but I don't want to ride with him.
Well, you put him in this car where there's no speed limit, no nothing. Like, we ripped out onto the track. He's like, we're going to go out on the track. I'm going to explain to the crowd what we're going to do. It's going to be nice, da-da-da. Soon as we get out on the track, he goes down on the grass and starts ripping donuts, right? And I didn't know what's going on. And then he's doing burnouts and you know what I mean? It was fun because, Adam's got so much going on race day, a lot of stress. He's trying to make sure everything's happening. And you saw for those few minutes the child in Adam come out. And I know that's his opportunity. He probably looks forward to that for that reason, because it was just, we were ripping around the track and everything. There's a young lady sitting next to me in the gunner seat next to me. And I'm like, hey, listen, I'm probably going to scream. It's not going to look manly. Sorry about that in advance. And she's like, why would you scream? Like, because I don't know when this guy's going to turn, when he's going to slam the brakes. I don't know. We're facing backwards out of this thing.
The wrong way.
Yeah, we're just holding on for dear life. That's why I might scream, and she was acting like it was a walk in the park. I don't know. It was an experience I'll never forget.
Yeah. No, Eve of Destruction 2 at Magic Valley Speedway last weekend. Other than Mother Nature throwing like 9,050 mile an hour winds consistently all night long.
Yeah.
I don't think it ever stopped.
No, it was bad all night. And I was worried about the fireworks, but they still put them on. They had the fire crew ready in the field next to us. So it worked out.
Yeah. So pretty good show there. It was, I want to throw a shout out to Melissa and Brandon, your son, Tyler. Peyton was down there, the Speedcast.tv crew. We were working on some mic issues that I know we're going to get figured out, but as far as the broadcast, flawless, other than the windstorm and trying to blow the camera around and everything. So we appreciate that. And your Tyler gets to go solo this weekend. You guys got a show at Magic Valley Speedway. We're running up here at Meridian. So here's his big debut as a production manager, right?
Yeah, he can't wait. He's been talking about it, ever since Sunday, after we got back from the track. He was just like, hey, Dad, I get to do it by myself. Don't worry. He's like, I know how to run Speedcast. I can do the replays. He's like, even if they wanted to put us on flow, I can do flow. I can know the controls for both, whatever. And I know nothing of it. So I'm like, good, son. I hope so. Because if not, I'm handing you my cell phone saying, call Brent Artie.
Yes.
Peyton,
yeah. Brent and Peyton will be there to get you going. But yeah, so pretty cool. Just like we talked about, it's all part of the families, and I'm excited to see your kids getting involved and being a part of it down there as well. Kind of
We love it.
It's going to be a fun deal. This weekend, you guys have, what do you have out there this weekend? You
I
have
know
your
we've
schedule
got.
right?
Yeah, I was looking
truck?
at it earlier. Yeah, trucks are in town, so I was excited. I didn't know if I should like send a message to Jenna Qualley talking crap or anything like that.
Yeah.
But we got trucks, Western Mountain Inc. NASCAR late models, McDonald's street stocks. So we should see Josh Cuffs speaking. Josh said, letting us know Laura's doing much better. I know she had she got hurt last weekend, so we missed her at the track. Glad if she's doing much better. I'm glad to hear that. So we'll have street stocks, mini modifieds, bombers, and stingers. So it's going to be pretty good.
Pretty good show. I know the trucks, their season down there winding down, and Jenna and John and Jeff, they've been putting on a show. Tanner doing a great job. Tanner Wong there as well. So
Yep.
You could be in for a really good show this weekend down there.
I love trucks, late models, street stocks. I love it.
Yeah. So that's the Magic Valley. And gosh, we're down to. I mean, we're almost into September. We're down to the last month, a little over a month down there at Twin Falls.
Yep, and that's it.
Season number 2 for the new management crew, and you've been down there for all of them. I think it's growing. I think it's getting better and better every week.
Yeah, we're feeling it out every, a mic problem here or whatever problem there, we're sorting them out. We're getting it figured out, and crowds are getting bigger. And there's, folks in town are starting to see how much fun you can have at the racetrack. It's different. And we're trying to improve every little thing we can, different things from how concessions are done to, how the race formats are. So we're getting good feedback. I feel like every weekend too, somebody's coming up from the crowd saying, hey, I've been coming out here for years. You guys are doing a good job. We hope it keeps it up, keeps going. So it's good.
Yeah. So Adam and the crew doing a great job down there at Magic Valley Speedway, Meridian Speedway, Saturday night. We're going to be live on Flow Racing at Meridian Speedway. Tyler's going to have us on speedcast.tv down there at Magic Valley. So this weekend, you can double dip if you can't make it to the tracks, or if you're in Twin Falls, you want to see Meridian. Because it is a Speed Tour Wing Sprint Car Night brought to you by Project Filter. Trammell Construction helping us out. We've got NASCAR mods times 2. I've been watching some of these guys. That's getting down to the nitty gritty. Katie Miller chasing Brendan Fries for the NASCAR championship at Meridian. Katie's just been consistent, and she's just waiting to pounce. So that'll be pretty cool with double main events there. The Idaho CDL Training Street Stocks, they're rolling into their championship race here. Little brother Taylor Ochapenti has a little bit of a lead over big sis Kendra. So those drivers plus a couple other street stock drivers we're going to get on next week as they get ready for their last few races. Another family battle. So Taylor trying to hold on to the points championship run there. The Pepsi Sprinters, which we saw a few of them down at Magic Valley last weekend, they're going to be out.
Yep.
The Midgets, and of course, regional night number 1 for the Domino's Pizza Legends at Meridian Speedway this coming Saturday. And like Jerry and the guys said, on Sunday morning, you can go to church, or you can come to the Church of Legend at the Motorplex at the Mill.
Little motorsports ministry going on.
Motorsports ministry. Maybe think I could be the preacher.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah, we could try something. Hopefully, I guarantee it would be all volunteers coming, but no, it's going to be a cool show. Bandos, Legends. It's going to be a big qualifying run, and if you haven't made it out to the Motorplex, check it out. But definitely Saturday night kicks it all off at Meridian Speedway, live on Flow Racing, Magic Valley Speedway trucks, and more on speedcast.tv. What else, Patrick? I think we got it pretty well handled with that group of drivers that we had. I appreciate those guys and coming on. Mr. Blanton, Jerry, Jonathan, the guys that were out there at the Motorplex. It's always cool to have some impromptu guests, right?
Yeah, it's always good. Love and learning. Like I feel, like I have so much that I still need to learn. So it's good to be able to just kind of sit back and watch these guys talk and try and learn as much as possible. But it's good. I also, your new nickname, we can call you the Pit Stop Pastor.
The Pit Stop Pastor. Amen. That's probably one of the best nicknames I've had all year because a lot of them we can't talk about on here. I think we could do that. So, maybe I have to wear a little collar. I might have to.
Yeah,
wear
I'll
a
have to
suit
get you
and tie.
something.
I'll get I'll see if I have anything left over from my Catholic school days, but I'm sure my neck, my gut, and my waist are a little bit bigger than they were in 1992.
It's all good.
Just a little bit.
Yeah.
Just a little bit. All right, man. Well, you and the family have a safe trip up to Magic Valley Speedway this weekend. Tyler's going to be cranking it out. Melissa's going to be up on the roof. Brandon put up some great pictures yesterday from the Eve of Destruction. So we're going to do a little double dipping. Speedcast.tv if you can't be in Twin. Flow Racing if you can't be in Meridian.
If you want to watch both at the same time, you probably go to hang out with someone like Jeremy White because I bet you he probably got both of them going on at the same time.
Yeah, I think Jeremy will definitely. Oops, I put up the wrong one. He just texted me there. Yeah, Jeremy will probably have us all. There you go. Tuning in Saturday on Flow. We knew he would be there.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's get this thing rolling. Big 2-day weekend coming up. The Motorplex at the Mill Meridian Speedway, Magic Valley Speedway, Flow, Speedcast. I'll talk to Travis. Maybe we'll do a little bit of live Legends action on the Pit Stop podcast page, just to had a blank because I was reading a message at the same time. Just
get things fired up.
Get a little taste of what's going on there. So
right on.
Cool. For all the guests, the guys traveling, the guys here local, appreciate you coming on. And Patrick, enjoy the races Saturday night. Let me know how it goes. Next Wednesday, hopefully, we'll plan on doing a little street stock talk as the championship race comes to a close here at Meridian Speedway this next couple of weeks out. So it's already September, buddy. We're gonna be shoveling snow and waiting for April before we know it.
Yeah, for real.
All right. So for Patrick, myself, we appreciate you guys watching tonight. Legends Regional Qualifier, Meridian and Emmett. And if you guys are down in the Magic Valley area, go down and support Patrick, Spanky, and the crew. It's going to be a heck of a show, no matter what short track you're at this weekend. And we'll see you guys all at the races.